Before we start the video, if you have enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't subscribed but you have already watched my videos, hit subscribe also for more good videos. And if you are already subscribed, hit that notification bell to never miss my single upload. And with that said, let's get on with the video. What is up guys, Start here, and today we are back with more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Have. Now last time we did the investigation, and now we're gonna do the class trial of behind Chihiro's case. So of course we're gonna do some skills. By the way, I reviewed some of the truth blood. I'm alright. So we have attentive influence, increases the influence gauge by 2, affected during the class trial. Alright, what do we have? What else do we have? Oh, I guess that's it then. Well then, right now, let us do this class trial, our second class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Haven't you already talked about this again in the previous class trial?
Hey then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon.
We already know this. First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. I already know this. It's the dumbbell. Yes, the dumbbell. Yeah.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
Come on, you don't
It
have
appears it was a head wound.
Yes, that's a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument.
Yes.
But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
What? Okay, what? You think you have some proof that contradicts what I said? Oh, that's not it though.
Blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
An iron pipe? No. It's a locker room dumbbell.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, come on, you should have just look around the locker room and just see that.
Can we agree that the
dumbbell
object
is
that
there?
dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell? Found at the scene of the crime?
See?
It was covered in blood. And there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
Don't mind. I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is
What?
Oh yeah,
For real?
Genocidejack, right?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocidejack.
Is it really Genocidejack? That seems of a stretch actually. Did he really kill Chihiro? A new element has been added to the non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer you can use to shut down the white noise. However, if you shut down an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have the silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. In which case, you can just forget about silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. But then good luck and have fun. Alright. The white noise, huh? So, Genocidejack case file.
The culprit is Genocidejack.
Oh, this one?
I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh. But those aren't even
impossible.
white. Those aren't even white, it's purple.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on. There's just no proof for it.
Oh, there's proof.
No, that's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocidejack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
I don't know, man.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Yep, bloodlust.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Huh? What? Have you been watching those anime word?
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Oh, I don't know. You're the smarty pants. If I'm not mistaken, that's to do something with the position of the body. How the victim was positioned? I mean, you just gave me the answer.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it?
I mean, it could have been you. Just saying.
There's only one logical answer. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
Oh, Toko. What?
What?
Wait,
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
so is this all about the incident in the investigation where just won't get out of her room? Is that what you're talking about?
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit again. Oh. Oh, so the answer was like multiple personality or something? So... Schizophrenic? Alright, schizophrenic it is.
Now I understand! Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
You mean when she first saw the body and just get up with her tongue sticking out? Is that what you're thinking? The one thing that shows Toko could have split personality is has to do with her behavior. Fainted, right? Are you talking about her fainting? Well, I can't say it's close, but not quite. Fainting by itself ain't proof of a split personality. Then it must be something else. Alright, so one thing, her behavior changed.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
Yep, her tongue was sticking out like crazy. It's like Lickitung, or she's descended from Lickitung.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when
What really
Toko
is her?
trapped herself in her room,
Dang.
It's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
And I actually thought she was hiding Genocide Jack in a room, but nope, I'm wrong.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
Dang.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
And we didn't even know about this. Dang. She's not happy.
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone.
I mean, do we even have full proof? I mean, I know it's right there, but we didn't. Are there even witnesses or something?
But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
How delusional is this girl?
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it,
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Byakuya, calm down.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person?
Look at her sprite. She's freaking out. She's wagging her hair.
You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. Oh, what's gonna happen? A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... What?
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck? That tongue is bigger than Lick a Tongue.
What the heck?
Not even... Is she even descended from Lick a Tongue or what?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
Oh, okay.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko! That's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality! So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body!
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. This is beyond insane.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
She almost looks cute there. What the heck?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
I mean, you're kind of similar.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Really? So
There's
I guess
clearly a
that's easy.
motive, so there should be no doubt.
Is it
A motive?
That seems too easy. This class trial seems too easy. The last class trial is like, I don't know, an hour. But we've been here for like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that.
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack.
And what if it is not?
If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Huh?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a
is it
bizarre
actually byakuya?
fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster.
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all of this. Alright, status of the dead body?
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking.
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need?
She doesn't even care.
Give it up. You killed her.
Wait, what am I supposed to shoot? Okay, I have to just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right.
The modus operandi matches
Is it
completely.
even this one?
What more proof
Oh god,
do
I
we
missed
need?
it. Dude, no.
Give it up. You killed her. The modus operandi matches
There.
completely.
No, that's it. Okay, that's it. So because Makoto said it's E.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Why is it?
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh, wow.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Hey, don't you be dissing Chef Boyardee like that. He actually traded rations for the soldiers in World War II. That's a fact, though.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference about between the murders. The photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach, okay? Here you see a clear difference. The victim's fatal injury?
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method?
True.
And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
What?
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini,
Well, so you're being Italian, right?
then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
So it's been confirmed that Toko is actually Italian. He just have a Japanese name.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other genocide jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement! Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
So what, she's now American?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
I mean... Alright. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured out, I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Chihiro's a girl because, the victims... Like I said in a previous video when I did the investigation, when we look at the Genocide Jack case, I mentioned that every victim was a boy, so maybe this one?
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Yep, all boys.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
So... You are yandere, is that what you're saying?
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
That's true, and you know what? She doesn't seem strong. So actually left the dumbbell. Did I say something sexist for now?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Are you kidding me? She actually has her own scissors, so...
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime!
Bro, run from her.
Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
What if it's a copycat killer? Actually, hold on, there's one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. Yes. And he could be the killer. Actually, I don't know about that, but someone who knew about these cases is none other than byakuya.
Here's my answer.
But did he actually kill? I don't know about that
Byakuya,
one.
it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it! The adorable glasses man was behind it all! Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Oh, so it's now gonna butt it up, alright. Yep, it's gonna... I was complaining about the whole thing about this one.
The girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
Wow, we even had the same exact reason. We think alike somehow.
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But how would you know Chihiro is killed then?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debate. Yes. Next we're going to add something called a truth flashback. Oh, okay. You aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button. But then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction, your loaded truth bullets, might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. Alright, so another method, another aspect, another key, another... What do you call it? I forgot. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I would say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then go back and have fun. Alright, so what am I flashbacking? But how do I do it again?
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
you absolutely take it!
Why?
That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Oh god, I know it. I know it. I think I know it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Is it vice versa? Something like that?
Shoot!
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong! I'll tell you what's so strange about that, because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
That's what I was saying.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's at Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with it.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders? The evidence to prove Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there? What could it be? Okay. Library desk lamp.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Wait!
Obviously,
Oh,
somebody
come on.
else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
The library desk lamp. He was using that whenever he was reading in the library, and that library desk lamp has that extension cord or something, and he used that to use a rope. There we go.
I'd never seen that rope before in my
Oh
life.
god damn it!
Obviously, somebody
No.
else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
That stupid purple dino. We're gonna
I'd never seen that rope before
do that,
in my
and
life.
then do this. There we go.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or that extension cord...
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
Dang, is it really Byakuya?
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
Yeah, the girls' locker room. He won't have gone there because it's not allowed.
I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
He's doing it again. Totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Yes?
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. The hero's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean can I really just accept what Byakuya said as a truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. The scene of the crime?
I got it!
Oh yeah, okay.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
I thought we're beginning to have a same reason again, because I said that byakuya couldn't have killed Chihiro because he's not allowed to go to the girls' locker room.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
I even don't like byakuya that much, but I agree with him.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later.
I remember the boys' locker room with the posters and the coffee stain. Oh my, that's it.
Along with the rest of the murder scene.
I just remember that one.
The rest of the murder scene?
By the way, I can't snap. I don't know why. So in the post, I can just add the snapping sound effect.
This is awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who would have been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the case could have been somewhere else.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else? There was something that was switched between the boys and girls' locker room. Oh yeah, I mean... Apparently, in the investigation, he said that these two posters are not in the right place or something, which is kind of hilarious to me.
The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange?
I'm sorry, it just sounds so perverted to me.
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that? Why am I stuck with the tornado boy band guy? I want to see some big boobed model to get an erection.
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Why would I give an erection to a boy band? Ugh.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
Yep, the
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved, yeah, where is it? Boys' locker room carpet, there we go.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the bloodstained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body.
So did they do this just in order to hide their gender or something like that?
By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
Oh.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
To hide their gender, right?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
She could have been ambushed, for God's sake.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.